back, guys, to a different day, a different dollar, and I do believe a new episode, part 2, on the engine towers for the 4BT F150. So, today, I'm going to pick up right where we left off. This morning, I've already got out here, warmed up the Piranha here, and cut this piece in for our engine tower that we left off on. Kyle's on his way. So basically all I've got to do is weld this piece into place, which I'm going to weld from the back side only. Leave this a nice smooth surface. I don't know, set that in. No, we're not setting that in. It's got to be flush. So yeah, I'm going to only weld on the back side of that. And all the way down both sides. I may weld these creases. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. But before I weld that into place, I need to take it off and actually weld the insides. I might be able to get in there without, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. And then after I get that welded, it'll be done. We'll just have to drill one hole for the mount. And these ones are soft. These are too soft. These aren't as hard as mine, so I got to figure out the part number for the harder ones. But anyway, yeah, so that will have a hole. So that will sit right in there. We just got to figure out where that hole needs to be. Remember before we talked, this one over here had an adjustable slotted one, and I did not care for that. Because if it comes loose, it allows your engine to rock. Not going to have that. So, and then once we get that done, which is not going to take us too much longer to finish this one up, then we can move over to the hard side. The hard side... as you can see, somebody has already tried to cobbled that thing. Look at that. So my idea, and it's already got a bent to it, and we're gonna get that out. Should be loose right now, and we're gonna do a plate back there on there. There's just like the other side. So there's 4 bolts back there. It's gonna come off that plate at an angle to the mount. And then we're also going to use the 4 up front. So it's going to be more U-shaped. It's going to be harder to build, but it's going to be really, really sturdy. So, and that's what's important. Right now, it's extending so much metal over. It's extending so much metal over that it's dangerous. That could break. Yeah, that's just not safe. And you can see it's already starting to bend. It's a heavy motor to put on that much. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, guys, look at this cheesy son of a bitch right here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, our finished product, we got beads both down both inside there, on both sides here, and then I cut this piece off because I didn't need it anymore. I thought we were going to need it, but this is also angled for the block because this block does sit a little bit angled, so that's why this is a little bit crooked. It's designed that way, but all in all, what do you think, Kyle? Better than the first one I did, huh?
Yeah.
I decided to put 4 little welds down here on the bottom, but this was a beautiful cut. Got our mount here. This will sit. Let's see. This is against the engine. So this will sit just like that.
Yep. It's gonna look good.
Yeah.
It's gonna look damn good.
And if we need to, guys, if we need a little adjustment, we can also just get in there and waller that out a little more. But I did drill it a little bit so we have a little bit of adjustment if we needed it.
Now this cobbled together. Look at that weld. God, that's horrible. Oh, I didn't realize that they had just they had taken just a scrap cut to fill their gap.
Yeah, and then took the electric glue gun and just snotted it in there.
Yeah, and then we're just gonna bolt this with 13 washers in there to make the gap right.
Yeah. We almost used these, and then we were like, no, I'm glad because I didn't know that the driver's side. Here's your before and after.
I like it. That one looks a lot better.
Yeah, this is just cobbled.
Everything is just shit on it.
That's going to be structured. That's going to look fine. It's beautiful.
It's gonna work well.
Kyle got this all cleaned up, guys. So we've got I think we've got a mount we can build off of now for the front. It's already got it looks like the right angle. So we're not using that one, we're using this one. All right, guys, back from the parts store. Kyle's working on tightening down the mount down there. There's one tower done and in. We're having some problems with the threads on those two back bolts. We're not sure exactly. We think we need to tap them out, and they're just dirty. Maybe got some rust in them. We went to like 4 parts stores, could not find a dang tap to that size. You need a 12. It's 12 and 175 coarse thread. But we are about ready to start building this side. I've got that plate in.
I can't get my hand up there any further.
I'll come do it.
You're gonna have to do it.
And I got that plate in. We're gonna start as soon as we get that other side bolted down tightly, so we know, and then we can put a level on it. We will start building the other side. Alrighty, so this is what we got done tonight. So we got to this point tonight. This is the starting of the passenger side. This piece all figured, the angles figured out. And we got this guy welded up here. This is going to be our front piece. And we'll tie everything in tomorrow, and this engine should be sitting back down on its mounts without touching the oil pan tomorrow afternoon. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the morning. Welcome back, guys, to a different day, a different dollar, same episode. Back to it next morning on the transmission. Back to it on the engine mounts on Kyle's truck. Yesterday we left off with having that out on the workbench. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what I've got going on here this morning. I've already got here early. Kyle's working on an episode for you guys. But there we go. So we got one coming off the back, which I know I don't got all the bolts in yet. And we got one on the front. Then I got a little adapter piece that drops down, and then we're just gonna cross those two together. And guess what? Weld it. We're gonna have ourselves a nice little mount on this side. I actually like the way that this is turning out. It looks really, really good. So let me get that measured up, get a piece cut, and pull it back out, get it on the workbench, on the welding bench, weld it together, and then I'm done. And then Kyle's gonna get here and he's gonna install he's gonna take them all back out apart and drill the hole and paint them and all that good stuff. Kyle's here.
What?
Said Kyle's here.
Oh, yep, I'm here.
This is basically the passenger side. It's turning out really well. We'll show you more of that as soon as Kyle gets done cleaning it up for me. Well, how shitty is my welds?
Your welds are not bad. Not at all. My paint job, on the other hand, it's not great.
We got a lot of slag we didn't clean up, but Kyle says he didn't care.
I'm not too concerned about it as long as it's functional. That's the...
I got a little cruddy right there with my welding, but we had a gap to fill in. And we got a lot of slag we didn't clean up right there. Kyle didn't care about the prep for paint. He cares, but he doesn't care what it looks like.
Not at the moment. I just don't need it rusting in there until I can get taped off and spray it, because we're gonna spray the top end of that motor.
But these are just mounts.
Yeah. They just need to be functional and keep the rust out of it.
But guys, I'm pretty happy with the design that I came up with. A little bit different than the one I did in the Expedition.
Well, we had to. We were a couple inches forward.
Yeah, this motor sits in the truck different.
You know what I'm going to be really
There's
excited
the passenger side all done. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the driver's side next after. I think we're going to put this one in, bolt it down after it dries. Well, Kyle is. And then he's going to paint the other side.
Yep.
I'm going to watch.
It's your watch day.
It's my watch day. I put some hours in this weekend. Well, guys, Kyle and I have been digging through some parts in the back of the truck. Found a turbo. Kyle's going to do a whole unboxing video. We are actually probably going to get this truck running a little bit sooner than I thought we were going to, but then we're going to upgrade some things once we get it running and back on the road again. We found some, he's going to do a whole unboxing video. There is so many parts in the back of this truck. It's crazy. But right now we're installing for the first time the passenger side, and everything's perfect. It just lined up, went in, no fighting. As soon as he's out, I will show you what it looks like in the passenger side there with some light. We're going to be dropping the cherry picker off here real soon. He's actually got to pull the driver's side back out to paint it today. This went a lot smoother than the last time we built mounts, but we were, you know, it was a prototype. And I already had in my head what I wanted to do with this one, so it was a great weekend, even though the weather has been shitty. But 3 days. I worked on it Friday, all day Friday. We worked on it all day. Well, most of the day. I probably put it, 7 hours in yesterday. It's already 2 o'clock on Sunday, so just plan on 3 days of building towers if you guys are wanting to build towers for a Cummins swap, especially. And if you guys don't have a Piranha, and you guys don't have a torch,
Cutting everything by hand.
Cutting everything by hand, I could see it taking a week. All right, there she is. The welding on that tubing piece doesn't look pretty, but it's functional. It's functional, but everything else turned out beautiful.
Well, you ready?
Look at how pretty that is. All right, now we're gonna come out, and Kyle's gonna release the tension on the cherry picker. Look at that. Didn't even move. It didn't even settle. That's a good sign. It means we have everything perfect. Now once we go back under here, we go under here, guys. Oh my God, the oil pan isn't touching anymore. It's got clearance. Holy shit. Wow. Just like it's supposed to be. Good God. That's exciting. It's got about the same amount of clearance as my truck does. Who would have thought if you did it right, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't just cut corners and place it in there. Oh, it's going to be good. Let's use some pot metal. You'll be fine. Everything's fine.
Guys, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to like this video. Give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Central Oregon Shenanigans. Till next time. See you.